It's the UPX Podcast, baby. Glad you tuned in. Got your host, Thank Me Later, and you're stupid to win. Might be coming up. Session as soon as you begin. Start out king of the street, then lock in iconic in. Welcome to Upland. Grab your UPX, man. On your way, and the dough hit you with $4,000. Get to buying and gripping, then to selling and flipping. Over to moving and shucking. I'm Scrooge McDuckin in UPX.
Blanders, to another exciting, I don't know what's going on there, but to another exciting episode of the Upland Property Experts Podcast. We're having all kinds of fun technical difficulties tonight and just other issues that kept us a little late. So welcome to episode 141. As always, I'm joined by ThankMeLater, and this is recorded on July 14th, 2022. Year is just about half over. Well, it is half over. So, yeah. How are we doing this evening? Thank me later.
I'm doing all right.
Just all right.
Yeah. No, we're late because I fell asleep, man.
Yeah.
Rick
Not a problem. What up, Rick Peters? Amazingly, it was actually a pretty quiet week overall in the Upland Metaverse. There wasn't a lot of announcements announced by the Upland team this week. The Standards Challenge is going on. So I think this is a good opportunity to really dive into the Upland market and go over a couple would you accept those offers. So we'll jump right into that. Top 10 city floors in Upland. Man, the U.S. dollars really took a crap this week. You got 7 out of the 10 top cities in Upland in the red, and in the red pretty good. The UPX is pretty stable overall. New Orleans jumped up 4 spots. I think it's kind of impressive. You have some cities that are increasing their UPX floor price, but yet their US dollar floor price is dropping by a lot. Like, look at New Orleans. They jumped 4 spots overall, and their US dollar price dropped 20%.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting.
Yeah. And, kind of like Kansas City, they did the same thing. They jumped up 4 spots, but yet they dropped 10% in their city floors. One of the things that we started looking at is the markup. So how much the floor is marked up. This is where you can really see where the value's at. Yeah, the floor price is good, but how much is that floor being marked up? Interesting thing is Manhattan last week was at 331% for the floor markup. This week it fell to 272%, but yet the UPX floor went up overall for the week. So your percent of markup went up, your percent of markup went down, so you're getting a better deal, but yet they jacked up the floor. So these are interesting things that we do like to follow and pay attention to. Yeah, and UPX does not pay the in real life bills. I do understand that.
Truth.
And then the US dollars. Interesting, Brooklyn and Bakersfield jumped up 25% each compared to last week for their US dollar floor. You would figure that with as much of the US dollar floor that was read in the top 10 cities, you would think that the markup for the floor would drop also, but really you have, Rutherford and the Bronx were the only ones that really dropped on their US dollar markup for their floor, while everything else stayed pretty stable for your top cities there.
Yeah. So do you think that means that players are essentially hit when they see that floor getting to a certain point, the players who have smaller properties go, oh, well, that's high enough for me to start selling. So then they list their smaller, cheaper properties at just under, which then drives down the overall value floor, but then increases the actual markup. Like, do you think that's what's happening?
Yeah, I believe that is definitely what's happening. People People say, hey, that's good enough for me, and that will cover my costs, cover my bills, and jump in there. And here is the bottom 9 cities. So right now there's 19 cities released in Upland. And this is just really interesting, is the bottom 9 have really dropped in their US dollar markup. Went from the 60s down into the 50s for some of these. Real good deals there. And that's the crazy spread right there, is you can buy something really cheap with US dollars if you have extra dollars available, say Nashville, Kansas City, Vegas, Chicago, Santa Clara, Los Angeles, and you can turn around and flip it for UPX at the floor. You can even undercut the UPX floor if you want to increase your UPX and not buy the 1,000 for $1. You can get a better deal this way. Plus, you're getting a hell of a deal on your interest earned off of your property too. So it's a win-win if you can afford putting US dollars into the game. I know some people are just say, I'm done putting it in. You have new players that are saying, how do I get the best bang for my buck? And this is how you get the best bang for your buck.
Yep, absolutely. USD floor is crazy right now.
Yeah. I mean, 55% in Nashville and there were a couple of them out there. So that's just insane.
Yeah.
And then the 30-day change, absolutely Monopoly Mike. You see, Monopoly Mike knows what's going on. This is definitely an opportunity to buy, but this is also not financial advice.
But this is also not financial advice.
Yes. Someone did post that depending on the country that you're in, depending on the bank that you have, it could be hard to get US dollars in. Some people don't have any crypto, but you can use crypto. I didn't ask that question. I saw that same post that somebody said they were having problems. But Upland does have to think of things like being able to set up a bank draft so you can draft right from your bank account. A lot of projects are doing that, where you can just wire straight from your bank account into the game instead of having to use a credit card. So that is a fair complaint. You know,
I think that would be too scary for me because, like, I'd be like, send, and then all of a sudden I'm broke.
Yeah, but you have to know your limits. You just like your credit card, because you're like, up, maxed out, and you're like, next one, maxed out, and you're like, all right, I'm done for a bit till I pay those off.
Yeah.
But yeah, the overall 30-day change, you can see once again the US dollar's taking a beating. Overall, the UPX is pretty steady. Rutherford, as I said, is the anomaly out there, just playing by its own rules.
Yep.
And then if we go back 12 weeks and look at the change in the top 10 cities, everything's kind of taken a beating with the exception of Rutherford. 8 out of the 10 property or cities in US dollars are down a lot. Las Vegas is number 8, but they weren't around 12 weeks ago. And the only positive one in the top 10 is Oakland in the US dollars plus 4.33%. And it makes a lot of sense. Just stocks are down and everything's down. And we saw this coming.
That this reflects more the general economy of the states and not the crypto economy, because if these were crypto numbers, all of those would be minus 80% in the red.
Yeah. Absolutely. So one of the things, I had a little time today. This is Manhattan going back to February, and it's the UPX price.
Who gave you MS Paint? What the hell is this?
It works. I was rushed. I was like, ooh, I can throw in some graphs really quick.
Holy hell.
But yeah.
That might be true, actually.
Yeah. But overall, if you look, Yeah, Manhattan's been dropping. No surprise there. It's starting to make a rebound. Um, this we put San Francisco, Santa Clara, Rutherford. They're pretty close in UPX, and you can see how Santa Clara and San Francisco have been mirroring each other, and you can see the how Rutherford keeps trying to test the all-time high that it's had here lately. Overall sold out. Yep, bear market
Fair
thing.
market. Yep.
Couldn't sell a Carmita Lane for the half floor earlier. Ooh, wow. Yeah. No real big changes. A couple of them moved up 1% here or there, but overall, still a lot of properties out there. And speaking a lot of properties, there's about 500,000 properties still available for mint out there in Upland right now.
I like
And
this. I like just the pure numbers here. There we
yeah.
go.
So we got the percentages, and how do you like those Los Angeles numbers?
No, I do. I mean, it's a tier one. Remember how long? See, this is people's memories are so short. Do you remember
It was
how
a week.
long San Francisco was unminted? Like, that was not a bad feeling. And as soon as it minted out, everyone went, "Oh crap! It finally minted out. What do we do?" Like,
Yeah.
so I mean, the reality is, get it while it lasts. I mean, honestly, I'd be buying the under mint stuff, but yeah.
Oh, absolutely. This has an impact on the real release date, and same with Portugal for their soccer. That has an impact for that. You know, they're looking at the. I mean, the simplest equation is they're just looking at the current mint rate, and they project out with a buffer of how long they have until they run out of properties. So they're definitely monitoring a couple of different categories there, and they have to hit certain thresholds to put more into the marketplace.
Yeah, I mean, see, again, everyone in the crypto market's so used to basing value on scarcity, and entirely supply and demand, which, to be fair, Upland hasn't given us much more than that to really go on. But the reality is that it's all going to be about utility. Even just think, it's not just utility, but building value. Think about all the houses now, like the racetracks just came out. So now with, this new content coming available, being built on Upland, like those things are going to highlight different properties. Those things are going to drive value to those neighborhoods, to those properties. So that's going to be, I think, the big game changer.
Yeah. And that is a good point. Vegas still has more properties coming in itself too. So I don't. Do you think they'll do the finished release of Vegas before they release Rio, or because it's the first international city, do you think they'll release Rio before releasing the second half of Vegas? Because they never promised that it would be the next city. They just said that it would. They didn't promise that they'd release the rest of it before.
Yeah, I mean, no, I think that they'll release Rio before Vegas. I don't think that they have a need to release more Vegas right now.
Okay.
I think that they did that I think they did that launch just because we were in Vegas. So it was like a fun opportunity to do that. I don't see any reason for them to release the second half.
Yeah, that's where I'm at also.
So Chicago, let me let you in on a dirty little secret. They're never going to focus on utility the way that you want them to focus on utility. The entirety of the utility and gamification market is going to be coming from third parties. I'm telling you that now. That's the strategy. Stop expecting Upland to deliver it. They're delivering you an asset layer. It's everybody else who's building on top of it that's going to give you the gamification and utility.
Yeah. And you see that, that's when That's one of Roblox's strategies. Is I watch my kid watch Roblox videos all the time, and it's all these other third-party developers that have created these things on top of Roblox, and that's where a bunch of people hang out and do it. And Upland looks like they're doing the same thing. They're going to be the backbone. Having buildings, having structures, and buying properties still going to be important in Upland, but the utility. They even said that, hey, we encourage other racing games to come in and develop something on top of Upland. Make something better than us. They already said that, so it is definitely. I wouldn't expect too much utility from Upland. You're going to see more partnerships from Upland. You're going to see more third-party people developing stuff over Upland.
So I was going to save this for a little bit later in the show, but I will tell you that you should be watching the space of UPX.World. You should maybe mark, oh man, I'm going to mess up the time, 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on Sunday on your calendars specifically. And I would definitely make sure that you are in the UPX.World launch server, because you are going to want to be a part of what's coming next. And it is the layer 2 that Upland wants. It is the gamification. It is the utility. It's going to blow your mind. All right.
Yeah, good talks. So this is fun. Top spark holders out there.
Jesus.
Like, that's just amazing.
Is Expedia a player?
Let me look it up now. Thanks.
Well, we know Acero. He's he was the winner of that one car. Oh, DJ Shorts in the house. Really? Still rocking the llama, bro? Yeah. Can we? It's not launched yet. Yeah. 330.
Yeah, Expedia is a player, net worth 26 million UPX.
Wow.
Has 981 properties.
They're just really focused on
Spark.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, 330, like he doesn't even need to do a Spark exchange. He just builds what he wants. He is the Spark exchange.
The Princess Bride. He's like, don't make me call the Brute Squad. And he's like, I am the Brute Squad. Yeah.
There you go. C-Town in the house. Love it.
Hello from Cleveland.
It's a dead green rabbit. Ooh.
Ruh-roh.
That's his Block Explorer.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, Monopoly Mike's a 330. Uh-oh. I need to do a Cleveland meetup. So that's what I really need to do. Figure out a weekend and do a Cleveland meetup. We got a lot of people in the 440, 330, 216 area.
Dude, they were not talking about Cleveland with 330.
That's 330.
That's just Abdullah's Spark.
Yeah.
No one's talking about, except for Crypto Mike for some reason, or crypto mining for Cleveland. No, do not start throwing up your.
Does he stop throwing numbers out there?
like they're gang signs. Like, rep the 513 Cincinnati in the house. Like, put it down. I'm Mike Jones. Mike Jones.
Give Dizzy a keyboard and it just all goes crazy. Yeah, I'm still. Yeah, no one ever wants to talk about Cleveland because that was the worst release in Upland.
A mistake by the lake. Well, for you, it was.
Yeah. No, that I've never seen anything like that ever again, and they learn from their mistakes, and that's a good thing.
What? Why would you put that up? Don't encourage Dr.
That was
Nobody.
Dizzy.
Oh, wait, Dizzy's throwing these up there? Dizzy,
Yes.
no, you can stay behind the keyboard. You can't mess with the live production. Oh my goodness.
That's what. Hey,
Who
he
let him
produced the
have a
Vegas
tablet?
one. Yeah. See, there we go. All right. So yeah, Dizzy was just doing the nice ludicrous song for us, thanks to Dr. Noby.
That's why we can't have nice things.
All right. Will you accept this deal? Moving right along.
Coochie Lane, Las Vegas? No. I'm keeping it.
That's Cochise, not Coochie Lane. That's Cochise.
Maybe she needs to watch it then.
So this is they're both Las Vegas. One's a Las Vegas property, pretty good size. It is a 179 up square property, and they're offering well, that's what, sorry, I messed that up. So the property is 3515 Cochise Lane in Las Vegas, and it's 179 up square property. Somebody wants to trade for that property, and they want to give them 7301 South Levitt Street in Chicago, Illinois. Now, that's a 654 up square property. And the interesting thing about the one in Chicago is this is one of the broken properties. So it's a property that has breaks through the street, and it has 9 pieces to it. So would you give up your 179 up square Las Vegas property for a 654 up square property that is all divided up in Chicago?
Why wouldn't I take that deal? It's more money. It's not any part of anything special in Vegas. What am I missing? This is a slam dunk. Like, this is a no-brainer.
But what can you, I mean, the 179's has a nice shape to it. The 654 is pretty narrow and spread out. You'd still want it for the up square?
I want it because it's a cool property. Like, yeah, it's a super interesting shape. Like, well, it's 654. So while it looks really small and narrow, that you got to keep in mind that's across 4 blocks. Like,
yeah,
or more. Like, that's a huge lot. Like, 6. Yeah, I mean, it would be pretty thin. I would 100. Like, this is a no-brainer. Like, holy crap, I want that property. I want the Levitt Street property. I think that those are the broken properties like that are super interesting. And I think that there's going to be some cool functionality that could be incorporated with them later.
Yeah, I agree with you, and I definitely take that based off of the coolness of the property. And I'm not.
Joseph Wilson's giving more information. The house in Vegas is on a golf course and is next door to the house that filmed Casino.
Oh. But it's not the house they filmed Casino. It's the house next door. So do you still take it?
Yeah, I do. Hell yeah, I do. Because I'm not sentimental about that. I think I want the one because that looks like a giant sword. Like, that looks like a two-handed, like, flail. Like, it looks cool. It's even got a little hilt guard right on top of West 71st Place. Like, super cool. Golf course props do well. Yeah, that's fair. You cannot currently add ornaments to a property without a structure because the ornaments are only designed for houses.
What bot is the comparison from? I have to look. People do send these in to us. I've seen this one before, and I just forget off the top of my head which one. Yeah, Yeah.
Yeah, there's a bunch of different ones.
Now the next one.
Apparently, Maze has the one next door. It's like casino, eh? We're getting a consensus that says Upland Data.
I think so. Okay, there you go. Let's see our next one. You have the offer is somebody wants 7353 West Sunset Boulevard from Dr. Nobi, and that is a exclusive collection on Sunset Boulevard. It's 192 up square, and it brings in 6,277 UPX a month based off of the being in the collection. Now,
what am I missing here? There's no reason to do this deal.
Even though they're giving up a rare Melrose Avenue for it. It won't complete the collection.
That's Sunset isn't an ultra rare. I don't know why. I thought that color was ultra rare. Wait.
Okay.
It's that's only the
limit or exclusive.
Exclusive. Sorry, that's why. I was like, wait, it's an ultra rare? Why the hell? But wait. Oh, no, look at No, because even the base earnings, look at the monthly earnings on that. 2,900 a month base earning is more than the Melrose Avenue bonus collection earning.
But your resale on your floor is higher on your Melrose Avenue. So it doesn't break it.
Markup percent?
Yeah. Markup percentage.
What are the percent differences right now between Melrose and Sunset?
Currently Melrose has for the floor price is 165 UPX, while the median price is 450,000 UPX, and for the Sunset Boulevard it's 129,000 UPX and the median 487.5.
Yeah, but what's the markup percentage?
Oh,
because like the floor, because I mean Melrose Avenue, I mean again, this property would have been a third of the base price of Dr. Nobody's, and he does add some. It wouldn't break his Sunset collection, and it would get him one closer that he owns one in Mel. Yeah, but how much? What's the one that you already own in Melrose? Unless it was like a $20 million house that's going to get you like ridiculous returns if you complete this Melrose Avenue. Like, no way.
But it doesn't break his Sunset collection. So
inside of Hollywood, it earns a 2,000 more than that. Like,
yeah, because if you don't have it in a collection, if you don't have it in Sunset or the Hollywood collection, what if you don't have it? What if your Sunset and Hollywood's filled with better earning properties then?
I guess I just see it. I don't see a scenario where that property on Sunset Boulevard is worth less than the Melrose, because Melrose, it's not about the floor. Also, like, it's not just about the floor, because like what size are the properties of the floor of Sunset and Melrose, and like what's the base price again? What's the markup?
Melrose floor markup's 370%, and the Sunset is 167%.
Say it one more time. Sorry.
Melrose is 370% floor markup. It only has a total of 488 properties in the collection. And Sunset has a floor markup of 167% with 1,112 properties in the collection.
Yeah, so I mean, you're already at essentially the top. I mean, so that's what I would look at there. Is, to me, I go, Melrose is sitting at 3-4x already, and Sunset isn't even at 2x yet. Like, as the floor goes up, I mean, I guess Melrose Avenue I guess that's pretty rare. Dang, I don't know, man. Now you got me. I was like, I thought for sure it was like an auto reject, but I mean, that's why, again, like evaluating your deals from so many different angles is so critical, right? Because at least to me on the surface, this would have been an auto reject. But now after, talking about it, it's maybe there is something to consider for the longer term use. And if it can get you closer to Melrose Avenue, then yeah, maybe. Jeez.
That's not an ultra rare. It's an exclusive. It's the orange. It's the orange versus the yellow. They do look kind of close on the.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Plus, like the amount, like you're just like 6,000 versus 24. It must be, but yeah.
Yeah. So Dr. Nobi did not take it. He rejected the offer. And see, I struggle. I'm in the same boat as with your first reactions of where it was a reject. I was like, nah, reject that. That there's nothing to it. But then once again, you start looking at the collections and the rares and the ultra rares and how high priced they always get marked up. Is it a better long-term value to hold these ultra rares, considering that there's just under 3 times more Sunset versus Melrose? So I'm conflicted myself of, do you accept it or don't you?
Yeah.
Because you're losing up squared, you're losing, but if you don't have it in your Sunset collection or your Hollywood collection and it's just earning, I mean, just standalone, it earns more than what the Melrose would in the collection.
Yeah, that was what was like shocking to me.
So the only real value is the only way that I would do the trade is to resell this Melrose Avenue property at a higher rate because it's in a rare collection. And I would have to be okay with losing. Okay, you're losing like $1.90 a month, or I mean, yeah, $1.90 a month by accepting this. But long term, if you can sell this for, as the markup of the rare goes, it's worth it. So it just depends on your situation right now, because $1.90 overall a month, that you can go a long time with that.
Yeah. I don't know. I think I'd still keep the Sunset Boulevard. That's just me.
Yeah, currently. Yeah, I'd keep the Sunset off. So I agree with you.
Yeah. I don't know, because I don't think the chips are going to be as important in the future. Like, it'll be something, but not huge.
All right. Here's an interesting one for you. We have, once again, in Los Angeles, it would be a Mulholland Drive property, and they want to trade it for a Manhattan Tribeca property.
Okay.
So Mulholland is a rare collection. Tribeca is an exclusive collection.
Okay.
And you have 747 properties in Tribeca, and you only have 499 properties in the Mulholland Drive collection. Mulholland Drive is a 272% markup, and the Tribeca is a 576% markup. The floor in Tribeca is, call it 400,000 UPX, and the floor in Mulholland Drive currently is at 155,000 UPX.
I keep my Mulholland. I like Mulholland.
Well, they're offering the Mulholland for the Tribeca.
Oh.
So would you trade your Tribeca, and you got plenty of Tribeca to trade?
Probably. Because I like Mulholland long term better than Tribeca.
Yeah, you are a West Coast guy.
Yeah, I don't see Manhattan having the the neighborhoods and the communities and the nodes that LA's has and that the West Coast seems to have. Like, I think like that's going to be so important in layer 2. A lot of it is about looking cool. I think that there's going to be better, cooler ways to look cool, if that makes sense. But yeah, I don't know. Like, I just haven't seen the amount of community activity. Queen seems to be getting quite a big hustle of people, but Manhattan got minted really before, or like right as the communities and node concepts were spinning up. Yeah, West Side's best side for sure. So I don't think a lot of people were going into Manhattan buying it in the way that they're doing the cities now as a community. So I just don't, I see it struggling in layer 2 to find its identity. I think the overall value of it will decrease and others will start to rise quite dramatically.
So
not advice.
As they develop more partnerships and more people start doing things, don't you think it could be a potential that companies have the draw to Manhattan because it's Manhattan. So could it be more sponsorship type places, more businesses wanting to do business there? Or do you think they'll follow where the most activity is with the layer 2s?
I think they'll follow layer 2. Because I mean, that's where those partnerships are going to happen anyway. Most of them aren't going to happen in game.
Even though, what was that? Tony Hawk and Autograph just paired up with the Sandbox to do a skate park. So
super cool. But I think all these other metaverses are trying to cram everything on layer 1, like in their game directly. And I think for a lot of reasons, like the Tony Hawk thing is super cool, don't get me wrong, but it doesn't look like it's super gamified in the sense of like, cool, you can go and you can build a skate park and you can push around. But I don't think location. Yeah, no. Yeah, they're not going to. Well, yeah, they aren't going to be out of scale. Their architecture is garbage. But like, even that's just like a fun feature. Like, cool. It's super cool. You can build the skate park. You can skate around on your pixel guy and whatever. But like, it's not really. You're not playing Tony Hawk. Like, if you could play Tony Hawk and like it made like a mini game and gave you all the stuff like in the Tony Hawk game, maybe. But it's just basic.
Yeah. So you're saying that you could create a skate park in layer 2 in Upland and then do stuff from the old school Tony Hawk games.
Yeah. So like the reality is, okay, so in Sandbox, they now have like Tony Hawk land or whatever, or you have to have special land that you then build on, right? So they have purpose-built properties for this functionality. So now the people who bought all of those really nice properties in the middle, like they're like, well, crap, we want Tony Hawk stuff, but they can't, right? Now with layer 2, everybody has access to it. So if you are a San Francisco neighborhood and you wanted to have a skate park, you could essentially have a layer 2 skate park utility, much like, say, the car racing is a layer 2 utility, where you can have any neighborhood have a racetrack. So now every feature that you launch, you can then launch at scale across all of your properties. So every new feature, every new game brings value to every single property, as opposed to these other ones that are building everything in layer 1. So every time they come out with a new feature or design style, they have to keep increasing land and then adding people to it, which to me is not scalable from a gamification layer perspective, and it gets too chaotic. They're trying to scale wide up into smart, where they're creating a foundation and then they're going to scale up using layer 2. So,
all right.
Sorry, I know that was a bit of a rant. And if you want to know more about the future of what layer 2 is coming, check out UPX.World. It is going to be the premier layer 2 for Upland. So check that out. And there's going to be a lot more being announced on that coming very soon, coming this weekend, actually.
So how's Bones Balboa coming?
Bones Balboa is taking pre-orders now. I haven't spread it around a lot yet. So we're in phase 1 of his construction, which is going to be his outline and his eyes and nose. So I think that there's still some open. If you haven't got in and you want to get in, DM me. And or actually, can you did I send you the link? Can we put the link to the the pre-order?
Hold on.
Yeah,
I can work on that. You talk about it and I'll find it.
All right. Yeah. So Bones Balboa is going to be cool. He was created well before Vegas and the whole concept of what we're doing with Layer 2 came out. However, now with the what we're planning on doing with Layer 2, Bones is a great example. So that, kind of artistic structure is going to, what is Bones Balboa? How do you not know Bones Balboa?
Because you kind of teased it on one episode and then.
Oh, did I let it die?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Should have said that. Stop. Don't beat around the bush, boy. All right. Let's see here. Share.
Where did you put the Bones Balboa link?
Probably texted. Did I text it to you? All right. Oh, geez. Can you see it now? Can you see this? So this, friends, is Bones Balboa. I'm going to put it up here. Hold on. There we go. So pre-orders are now open. This is his final design here. Right now we're in phase 1, which is just going to be the skull outline, the nose, the teeth. We do have those numbers are not accurate as of now. They are less than that. So here's some stats. So that's his name. His full name is the Warrior King Bones Balboa. He is in Los Angeles in Balboa Lake in the northwest corner of Balboa Lake. So this is an Upland Property Xperts build. So we have now 2, the Encino Eye and Bones Balboa. We work with NFT Meta Designs, a super cool project. And all of this spark for all of these buildings is paid and bought through the UCC. So I think this will be over 8 figures in spark rental. So it's a big build for sure. Over 150 properties in the build. And so it's going to be over 300,000 spark hours. Jeez. There you go. There's the Google Forms if you want in. Again, we are just taking pre-orders on phase 1, which is the outline. Once that gets completed, we will go to phase 2, which is the cheeks and the war markings, the eyebrows and the headband. And then the final phase is the crown, which is going to be an amazing set of apartments. And then the 2 center pieces of the eye, which are not for sale. But yes. And the whole idea here, I mean, again, this was just, we were creating cool content for layer 1. So this is very much like a layer 1 design. It brings value in layer 1. And when I say layer 1, all I'm saying is Upland. That's when we say layer 1, we're just saying Upland.
Then just call it Upland.
Okay, fine. We build it in Upland and it has value in Upland because it's cool and whatever, right? But then when we take it out of Upland and go to layer 2, that all of a sudden can be anything we want. Like this is now a racetrack around a skull, but we could, morph it so it's not just the static skull, right? Like as layer 2, you can identify this as a skull and have it have very specific spooky properties. you could have this then become, a horror themed carnival. In the skate park example, you could create a layer 2 where this is a skate park and you skate around a giant skull, right? So now you can have thematic versions of it. And so that's why I think the layer 2 stuff of building vertically is much better than trying to build horizontally, because Bones would have to have like, oh, this is inside the skate park, or it's inside the racing area, or it's inside the shopping center, right? Where with Upland, your properties can be part of any single version of anything. You're not limited to your neighborhood necessarily, because you'll have a lot of opportunity. So it's, yeah.
Nice. So yes, definitely go ahead, copy that, submit that. You want to definitely be part of Bones Balboa. Let's see here. It's been a while since we did a giveaway on the show. You know that?
Yeah, it's because we're old Scrooge McDucks now.
Well, I feel like, we got Mars Utah backstage and he does the UPX Podcast theme song. So everybody right now that wants to be part of a giveaway right now, go ahead and type in hashtag UPX into the chat. And I'll give you guys a minute to do that. And then we'll go ahead and start collecting the comments and we'll get something away. I won't tell you first. You gotta have faith that it's good.
So far, Dr. Nobody's going to win it very easily.
Yep, there we go.
There it is.
There we go.
People are like watching. They're not actually like on their phones, or like on their whatever. All right, so that's Bones Balboa. Yeah, I'm really excited about it. Yeah. So, I think here's so phase 1 into phase 2, phase 3, and then that's the final build there. So yeah, looking forward to it. It's going to be a fun build.
Yeah.
All right.
Monopoly Mike, you go ahead and you fill out the form right here. Sorry. I'll put a copy link inside the description. So if you want to look for that later when I edit that tomorrow, I'll have that link in there also. So you can click the link in the video description too. The quicker the better, because as soon as they're gone on phase 1, they're gone and you'll have to wait for the other phases. And phase 3 will probably be expensive if we're doing that all in apartments.
Oh yeah. I don't expect phase 3 to go public for pre-sales. Given the scarce number of apartments and the significant price those are going to be, because those are going to be very much a luxury experience. So those will be minimum 500,000 starting. So likely that won't be out to the public, but if for some reason you are interested at that level, private DM me and I'll get you on the list for that. Smash them likes.
There you go. Thank you, Crypto Mining Wizard. All right, let me go ahead and share. Can you unshare so I can share now?
Yeah, I can stop sharing.
All right, so I'm feeling generous. Go ahead and we'll give away 50,000 UPX here. We had 14 entries.
Oh, this is cool.
And the winner is Boulder Magic.
Oh, Boulder Magic Ninja.
And he was the last one. He was the last one in when I collected it all. And I'm extra generous. So since we had a quick response there, I'll give away another 50,000 UPX.
Whoa, there, money bags. You should be putting that reservation towards Bones Balboa. What are you doing? Poppy 777.
Yeah. All right. Just DM me and then I'll get you. Poppy, is that your in-game name? I know how to get a hold of Boulder. So, yeah. All right. Oh, your sonnet. You missed it. I'm 100,000 UPX. And for the people that say we never give things away. And you know what we haven't done in a long time is do a script read and upland it.
Oh, that's true. Those were fun as heck. Especially with LA. How have we not done that?
Yeah. Let's see here. So you said mark our calendars for this Sunday, 4 p.m. Pacific time to check out UPX.World.
Well, so you want to go to UPX.World now. So I can't. So there's a mission boarding happening right now. I can't really say too much. It's kind of hush hush. But if you go to, and this is exclusive, and don't share this, by the way. Like if other people discover it on their own, that's fine. But keep it hush hush for now. So there's a boarding activity happening if you go to UPX.World for our layer 2 build that's coming. And on Sunday, 4 p.m. PST is what it's slated for. There is a Twitch. We are going to have a live Twitch stream. I believe it is at UPX.World Media is the Twitch channel. So again, don't go spreading it huge on social media now. It's kind of low key. We aren't really spreading it a lot because we are doing something a little bit different. So, and once you get over, you'll see
a couple hundred people watch it between now and Sunday. So you just put it out there for a couple hundred people.
Hey man, that's fine. Our first boarding ship, I don't know if we're going to close. We haven't set a number, but the long and short of it is, this is more than just any other. This is not UPX.World is not going to be a data site moving forward. It's a game. UPX.World is going to be a game moving forward. It will have Upland data, but it's going to be a layer 2 platform for Upland. And so right now we're having kind of the prologue of kind of the UPX.World story and the Xlander, which is your avatar inside of UPX.World. So when you join the boarding ship, you'll kind of see we're preparing for launch. I'm telling everybody, like 3 people, Usinate, calm down. Plus, who's going to believe you with that pixelated face?
Why are you so mean to our loyal supporters? your son is here each and every week.
he is with his yeah. Well, either way, with their horrifying icon, that thing freaks me out.
It's just a blurred icon.
I get that it's blurred icon. It just gives me creepy voodoo vibes. Yeah, if you like sci-fi, if you like, there's a bit of role play on the server. So we actually do have a dedicated role play, and not like that kind of role play. If you're like D&D style character role play, and yeah, it's gonna be
specified.
Yeah, I didn't want anyone to get the wrong idea. So it's a really cool, it's completely different take on, I think, what the future of Upland holds. I'm very excited to help kind of pioneer what's coming next in that area.
Awesome. Looking forward to it, and definitely just check it out now.
Get in early. Everyone knows. Yeah.
Sorry for blowing your cover. You didn't tell me that was a secret, so. Oh well. All right. But definitely make sure.
The internet's life cycle brain is. I'll forget. I've already forgotten who we're talking about.
Yeah. So if you are interested in Bones Balboa, I'll have the link in the description. There it is one more time. And making sure you like and subscribe to the channel, hit that bell for the notifications so you know when we do go live. And everybody have fun, be safe, and we'll see you.
Wait, is her name You Are So Nate? That's her name. You Are So Nate.
Nate, there you go.
Oh, we've been saying anyway.
Yeah, I thought it was like Sonnet, and you thought it was Nate, and we're just
you are so not.
That's what we do here on the UPX. Yeah. Ooh. We got it now. The secret's out.
The secret's out.
Yeah, but the secret's out. All right, I'm just gonna end it before it digresses anywhere.
Nada? Oh, what is that? No, you so naughty. What up, you so naughty? That's it. Done. in. Sorry, Usanada. It's you so naughty.
Oh, geez. All right, everybody, have fun, and we'll see you out in the metaverse.
It's the UPX Podcast, baby. Glad you tuned in. Got your host, ThankMeLater, and you're stupid to win. Might be coming up session as soon as you begin. Start out king of the street, then lock in iconic in. Welcome to Upland. Grab your UPX, man. On your way, and the dough hit you with $4,000. Get to buying and gripping, then to selling and flipping. Over to moving and shucking. I'm Scrooge McDuckin' in UPX.